Night here at Grand Ole Opry. Man, you know what I could say is sit here and talk for hours about this beautiful lady, and I'm so very proud to have her. I'm so very proud to have her back to Grand Ole Opry night, Miss Dolly Parton. Welcome back, kiddo.
Well, thank you very much. It's always good to be back. It's been a while since I've got to be on the Grand Ole Opry and be interviewed by you.
You know what? I've never interviewed you, I don't think, on any show, have we?
I don't think
Boy,
so.
I've got some good questions, too. I ain't kidding you.
Let her rip. Let her rip. I got some good answers.
No, first of all, I wanted to ask you, what's one of your biggest thrills? Either in the movies, on records, or in your concerts or whatever. Give me one of your biggest thrills that you
Well, actually, I've had a lot of big thrills in my life. One of the big thrills was when I joined up with your show.
I know.
Back in 1966 or 67, actually, is when I started being a member of the Grand Ole Opry. That was a big highlight in my life. Dollywood was another big occasion, having my first #1 record. Our first #1 duet record, and Lord, I've just been blessed. I couldn't even name all the things I'm grateful for.
You know, I was looking at some pictures the other day of you and I. We were just really kids then, wasn't we?
I was.
Yeah. Well, I was. Hey, we'll see you folks. We're running a little late. No, honestly, we was. You know, I have some pictures of us.
Compared to what we are now, we were.
Yeah. But I know you've had a lot of big thrills and everything, and you've got a brand new album out. You're going to be debuting some things from it tonight, and we're going to have a surprise guest later on. Jeannie's got some questions she wants to talk with you about the album,
All right.
too.
Well, let her talk a little bit.
Talk a little bit, kiddo.
Hi, Jeannie. How are you?
I hate to interrupt because you both being two of my favorite people, and you're saying things I wanted to hear.
Yeah, just let us talk then, Jeannie.
That's right. Well, you know, talking about recording, you just finished a new project, and I know that it's something special to you. I've been reading some notes, and it's called Something Special. Tell us about the songs.
Well, the reason I call it something special is because, well, 7 of the songs are brand new. And then I have 3 songs that are very special to me. 3 songs that Porter Wagoner was involved in doing the first productions on. I did The Seeker, which you always loved.
Yep.
I did Jolene again, which I've lived so long, I'm kind of repeating myself now. But I figured, well, If I Will Always Love You could be a hit 3 times.
Right.
Well, actually, I had a #1 hit in the early 70s on that, and then another #1 in the 80s. And then Whitney had a big record last year, and now, the reason this album is something special, I did I Will Always Love You again with Vince Gill as a duet. First time it's been done.
What a great idea, too, boy. It's a brilliant idea.
He did a great
man.
job
There's
on it.
probably another little green-eyed girl named Jolene somewhere out there.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. There's a song in the album called Green Eyed Boy, and so I know there's one of them out there.
I've been listening to it, and I have to tell you what my favorite is. It's Speaking of the Devil.
Oh, yeah, that's a song I wrote several years ago, and I've recorded about 4 or 5 times on every project. Never could get it exactly right, and this time it kind of hit, and we did it as a little Western swing, and Pam Tillis did all the harmonies on that.
Oh, is that Pam?
Yeah,
Well, you know, the Western swing, it's just come back around again. It's so in now, and you're right in the groove. And I have to say this, too, Dolly. I don't know where your thinking was. Maybe you can tell us, but emotionally, I've never heard such raw emotion come from your voice as I've heard on this album.
Well, I have lived and loved every song I wrote for this album at one time or another. So I think when you write from the heart and when you love from the heart and live from the heart, I think it kind of shows. I've always loved them old heart songs. We used to sing all them old sad tale songs.
Well, you can do them, I ain't kidding. You really do have. I think over the years you've really gotten more emotion in your voice.
Well, I've lived harder.
Well,
I've been through a lot more. I was young then.
Didn't I try to tell you? I said, look, you want to get out here and be boss? You don't know what's involved in it, honey.
But it sure did improve my singing.
It did. You really do sing better, I think,
Well,
through the years.
I'd like to think so. You never know. I'm sure some people think I was singing better then, and they liked me better then, but I am what I am, and me and Popeye are just hanging right in there.
Ain't no hammer.
That's right.
But it takes something, too, to really bare your soul like it sounds like you've done. And do you know what the single's going to be?
No, I don't. I know that one of the singles at some point is going to be I Will Always Love You with Vince. It may be the second single, I hope. And it'd be great if it could be the first one. So we haven't decided yet exactly what the single's going to be.
And I have to tell you, a few of the comments I've heard that it's one of the greatest pictures on your cover.
Well, good.
Thought you'd like to hear that.
Well,
also, I'm interested, and I'm transferring some questions from a lot of people saying, what about the new book? What truths is she going to tell? I thought she told it in the first one.
A new book?
Yeah. Are you not doing one?
Oh, I had made a joke saying that the reason I called my first one My Life and Other Unfinished Business, I said I had to walk lightly over this one. I said next time I write one, it's going to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me, Lord. But I'm going to wait till Porter's gone.
Hey, I ain't going nowhere.
That's a joke. That's
I ain't going nowhere. I know it. Hey, listen, we're going to continue here in just a minute. We got a lot more talking to do with Dolly, but
we're doing that roast
well,
again,
you're still
right?
crazy. You know what? We'll be back here in just a second. Back. I tell
We're
you.
doing girl talk.
All right.
We got caught at it.
I tell you what, this is enjoyable. I'm enjoying just hearing y'all talk. And Dolly, it's so great to see you back again and at the Grand Ole Opry. We all love you here and think of you often. And it's a big, exciting night out there tonight, believe me.
Well, I'm excited. I know that.
Yeah, I want to say that I get a chance to speak for all the behind-the-scenes cast and staff here at the Opry, and everybody said to tell you, welcome home. 'Cause
Well,
this is home for
I just
you.
live right across the road, but usually when I'm on the road with my band, our big nights are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when we're doing concerts. Now I don't have a band, so it's really been, I didn't realize it'd been that long since I've been on the Opry, and I take it with me wherever I go. I talk about being on the Opry, so it's good to be back, and I'm looking forward to singing to the folks. And
Special friend of mine, Springfield, Missouri, John L. Morris, bachelor, said to be sure and tell you hello. He called me today. And let's talk a little more about the album.
Okay,
we want to sell some albums.
This is actually your forum. What do you want to say to everybody out there? This is your chance to speak.
Well, I don't know. I'm just am very proud of this album. I'm very excited that all the songs on this album I had a chance to write myself. I did co-write one song with Gene Golden, who's a keyboard player with Kenny Rogers' group.
That's
and
Seeker?
No, that's the Teach Me to Trust.
Oh, Teach Me
yeah,
to
we
Trust.
wrote that several years ago, and just now got a chance to put it on the album. And I just enjoy it. Well, I had Alison Krauss singing on harmony on several of the songs, and Suzanne Cox, which I really enjoy singing with them.
I have to tell you something real quick. 27 years ago, I had an Armed Forces radio show, and my first show was you. And I wish there was a way to play this, but I have to tell everybody, I asked Dolly, I said, you know, a lot of artists are going into movies and acting, or at least singing in movies, and do you have any plans in that direction? And you said, oh, no, I'm not interested in movies and all. I just want to sing and write. And you said, beside that, I'm too corny to act.
Well, now, that just goes to show you. And at that time, I'm sure I didn't. You know,
Really?
I didn't know that I was going to, because they had tried to get me to do several things, and it was only when 9 to 5 came across my path that I thought it was a good idea, mainly because Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin were in it. They were both very big stars, and I figured if it failed, it would be their fault. And if it succeeded, then people could say it was me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, you know, making movies is hard work.
It's long and tedious, and that's why I enjoy doing television, because I kind of like that instant gratification. And speaking of, I'm working on a television show. I have been for 3 or 4 years now, trying to develop the proper sitcom or weekly show, whether it be an hour. And we're back involved now in a new show, which hopefully will come on after the first of the year. And so I'm excited about doing that. But movies are time-consuming. You have to wait long, long hours in your trailer. I'm so fidgety, as you well know. I'm too spastic and hyper to sit around like that. So that's why I like doing TV, because it moves fast.
I talked with Don while you were filming Steel Magnolia, which I thought you done a great job in.
Well, thank you.
And he said it was 105 degrees and you were just going out early of a morning. Really was hard work, you know, so I'm sure that it is.
It is hard work, but anything worth having is worth working for, and I was used to sweating. I lived on a farm. All the other people from Hollywood were the ones dying. I'm used to southern weather, and we were down in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and we were doing Christmas scenes in winter clothes in 105 degrees.
Wow.
So it got pretty hot.
You've said so many things that have been an inspiration for not only me, but I know a lot of the other artists. We talk about you quite a bit. One thing that really impressed me that you said years ago, you said, I'm not afraid of criticism. When you faced as much criticism as I did just going to school.
Well,
remember that?
It's true that I'm not afraid of criticism, and it's a good thing, or I'd have never got anywhere, because everybody gets criticized. But when I was a kid, we were so poor, and that's why I wrote the little song, Coat of Many Colors, and got laughed at with the clothes we wore and the way we had to live. But I kind of got toughened to it, I guess, as much as one does. But it always hurts you when people are, you know, people kind of criticize you, because you want people to like you. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to feel important. Everybody wants to feel special. And so you just kind of have to overlook it and just go on, not let it hinder you.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You handle everything, so many things with such a great sense of humor. My mom always told me you can't make it through life without a sense of humor.
And I believe that's true, because I know that I find the humor in the saddest and worst of things, and if I didn't, I think I'd just go completely mad. I think most people would.
And on your album, too, on the song Change, my favorite line is where you ended it saying, and I don't want to see your face till then. Talk about reality.
Well, it was really done in a more gentle thing, but it's really that, that kind of feeling.
But that's that raw emotion.
Yeah,
you talk
well,
about.
One of the lines that I remember the best of all the songs that we recorded was when she ended this one saying, "You do and I'll get a stick of stove would knock your brains out, mealy mouth."
Oh, that's those old duet songs those old fighting songs
Yeah,
we used to sing.
but they were a lot of fun, really. We
What,
were
the fights or the songs?
Well, both of them was, I thought, kind of fun.
You two had just, on that old show I was telling you about, you two had just won the first duet
Oh, that was
of
a
the year
great thrill for both of
It
us.
certainly
really.
was, and I see some of those pictures now. It's so funny. We had hair. I had more hair than... You could have stuffed a mattress with my hair, and you had some just about... You could have had a pillow with yours.
I know it.
You're about to say something, ain't you?
Yeah, we're going to have to take a little break. I'm going to get me some help. You women, I tell you, are making me look bad. I'm getting me some equal bill in here. Get me a guy in here in a minute.
You better be pretty good.
We'll be right back after this.
Quarter.